Welcome.
We don't need to count.
No, we don't need to count.
To another episode
Of Driving
to the Res.
with your favorite hosts.
Larry.
You forgot your name.
I don't remember.
Inelia.
I don't remember which one went first.
There is no order.
There's no order.
Welcome everybody to our podcast.
Yes, now we have our mic set again, properly,
Yes.
again.
We're the number one podcast
Number one.
for all of our friends.
Yes.
And all of our students.
And indeed.
All over the world.
Indeed. All of that stuff is true.
It is true. It is true.
And so one of the things we want for, well, it's not even a we. Well, it is kind of a we.
Yeah.
Code name we.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, come back to Earth.
Got it back here.
to Earth.
Come back. Okay, I'm back. It turns out money is the ability to do. And I think it'd be a fine idea if all of our friends who are listening and our students and
audience,
audience all over the world had lots of it.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I want. Yes.
That's my plan.
Yes. And
I'm not
here is a money sigil for it.
Oh, well, here's a money sigil for it.
Yes, your newsletter this month carries a money sigil. And
Yes.
that goes into your sigil bundle. And that you can use in your life.
You know.
Do you want to read the newsletter, honey?
Before I read the newsletter, I want to define a couple of terms.
Okay. Go for it.
What is money? And what is a sigil?
Oh my goodness.
So
High
money.
frequency.
We're getting distracted. That
my
means something
puppies.
important, right?
Yes. Something important
So
is
something
coming
important.
up.
What is money?
Yes.
Money is the ability to do.
Yes.
And here's a money sigil for it. Mm-hmm. What is a sigil?
It's a power sign.
A power sign.
Yeah. A symbol
A symbol.
that carries power within it to focus and to do whatever job we give it.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like a crystal
Yes.
in that it's programmable,
Yes.
but it's also a little bit like a crystal. They come programmed sometimes.
That's right. Yes.
Right. And this sigil,
Well, not quite, because you can buy a blank crystal and program it with anything you want. But a sigil usually is already a program.
right, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Okay.
Some crystals come with a program in them,
Yeah.
and that's why you have to clean
So that
them
would
first.
be the paper with the sigil. You'd have to rub it out and
Yeah,
put another thing on there.
The sigil, you don't have that because it's not to be reprogrammed.
No, you can't reprogram a sigil.
Good to know. These are the details I wanted to get at.
Okay, got it.
So, did you know that a lot of light beings think that money and being wealthy is corrupted? And the love of money is the root of all evil? This last sentence taken from the Bible is often interpreted to mean that money is the root of all evil, bypassing the word love. Do you find that
right.
interesting?
Yes, very interesting. And it's true, most people completely bypass the part that says love. And also, another part of this is that if you want money in your life, it means you love money, and that's your God, and everything's going to go to hell because of it, which is not true. It's not true.
It's not true. So to push rewind.
Yes, push rewind.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, if that's all you love, then yes. Things are going to go a little bit pear-shaped because you're probably going to sacrifice your relationships and all sorts of things. Maybe even
Because your importance,
integrity,
right? The importance thing
importances,
has a level. And we just did a class on importance.
We did.
And it was part of Walk With Me Now, as part of Subscribe Star. Comes with it.
And it's at the store, too.
And you can also
get it.
just buy it all by itself.
Yeah.
And check your importance. So that's an interesting bit.
It
The
is.
love of money is the root of all evil.
And I tend to agree with that because when people put that as their number one priority, they do sacrifice and do a lot of things that are not actually high frequency.
Right, I've noticed that too.
Because that's
That
the importance
because
it's
of
just
that,
having, yeah.
I will skip all the other things that are important because that's the most important thing.
Right,
so
right.
if that's the most important thing, then everything else literally takes a back seat.
Exactly, yeah. But it never says there that money is actually the root of all evil. It's not. Because money, what is it? It's the ability to do. So if you're an evil person to start with, of course you're going to do evil things. But if you're not an evil person to start with, of course you're not going to do evil things.
That's
when you
true.
have the power to do.
That's true.
Yeah. But most people forget that part.
Well, I think that they are...
Programmed.
Well, it's part of that thing. No matter what you say, you're going to hear something.
Yes, yes.
And many of us have been... I will say the word programmed because that's kind
true.
of what happens. We got programmed
By
to
ourselves.
something that's important. And that importance drives our subconscious or unconscious hearing and seeing so that it hears that sentence and drops out the love part.
Yes.
So it kind of like affirms it. And that's part of what we are talking about in
Yes.
our importance class.
Yes.
Is debugging your train of importances.
Right. And therefore debugging your life.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not by accident. So continue with the newsletter. There has been a continuous unconscious programming of good people. Hey, I just said that. To believe poverty is good and that money and wealth are the source of corruption and evil. But money is just the ability to do. The true fact is that when you have money, say you become a billionaire, for example, you can do a lot of good on the planet. Money and power don't corrupt. A person comes in the way they come in and will be corrupt even if they're poor and powerless. The opposite is also true. A light being doing their good works on earth is not going to suddenly start hurting and torturing people because they got some money.
Exactly. When you look at it from that perspective, it sounds ridiculous, right? But this is the program. If you look at it and you pull it apart, this is exactly what it's saying.
I have talked to plenty of people say, I'm afraid if I got a lot of money, I would be...
This, and the other.
I wouldn't have any friends. I wouldn't know who my friends are. And they would all use me. And I would use them. Or I would be afraid. Or
I might get
all this corrupted. And then I'm going to... I'll probably start pulling the wings off of butterflies. Because I got some money now. Mm-hmm. But that's not going to happen.
No. That's not going to happen.
No, I've witnessed, seen, heard, watched, and you can look it up yourself. You got to remember, there are actually some good people who have money.
There's a lot of good people who have money.
And they're doing a lot of good works.
Yes, lots of good works.
Maybe, just maybe, the normal way that I'll say everyone is programmed doesn't toot that horn too much.
Mm-hmm. No, because that goes against the power over others paradigm.
Right. So, obviously, you're not going to see it quite so much. No. But if you look,
you see
it's not hidden.
That's why you're listening to this
you'll
podcast.
Find it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, one of the other things, if you don't have money, you're too busy surviving much of the time to do your good works, or anything else for that matter.
Right.
Because all of your focus and attention is in stress for...
Survival.
Where am I going to get my food? Where am I going to get my shelter? How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay the electricity? Now the electricity costs a lot. Oh my God, the gas went up.
My children's education.
I got to pay for that too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, if those things weren't forefront in your attention, if that wasn't the biggest worry...
that was all covered.
You will have some energy and time probably to spend thinking about what kind of projects could I develop that are powerful and helpful to the environment and the people and my tribe and my family and my city, my place, my space, my dogs, all that stuff. Yeah. I'll give some attention to that for a little while. Mm-hmm. So the inverse to that, the way that we've been taught is if you get rid of all that stuff, then you can just think about those things. But it doesn't seem to function that way.
No, it doesn't.
It seems to function, but it seems to be like a contrary function somehow.
I have a question for you. I think you're alluding to it, but are you talking about like monastic lifestyles?
Yeah. I am, because, some of them have that where all of that is taken away as a...
refocusing
an
maybe?
Importance.
Yeah.
It's like you can't make it important. Now it's actually your importance is making it not important.
Right.
Like you have to take a vow of chastity and a vow of poverty and a vow of lack and like hair shirts made with the hair on the inside and scratchy wool and even
pain, suffering.
a vow of of suffering in some ways, like
they
discomfort,
do that.
right?
Discomfort, and
So I think that's more odd than, having the other. But I've also seen, as you probably have too, the other, where it is the love of money that's driving the process and stacking the money for no other purpose than
it's not good.
Disrupting the flow of the ability to do, hogging the ability to do in a sense, and using the ability to do, I guess. We've
There's
seen
a
it
lot,
all, and it's
a lot of ways it can be pulled sideways. A person can be pulled sideways.
Right. But if you've got a good tribe, good teachers, got your back, you aren't in any danger of that.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it is true also, this is the part that most or many I've heard of plenty. It's like, well, money's going to go away. We don't need it. We just use leaves or pine needles, or we could just instantly manifest, or all of these things so that we don't need to. We could just trade our tomatoes for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, money is going to phase out as more and more of us embody the high frequency paradigm.
It eventually.
It will. Yeah. But right now, during this split, which by the way is set to be
pretty intense.
We'll call it pretty intense. Intensity is a measure of the vibration, by the way.
Vibration, yeah.
In other words, the vibration is being raised.
The volume.
You'll be using money to pay to live on the planet and feed your kids or your pets, at least till 2030.
Yes, 2030, yeah.
Right. In the past, you've talked about money also as in dollars, money also as in land, money also as in gold or silver, or cryptos or euros or pounds or shillings.
One interesting factor, can I just add a little bit here?
Sure.
So this shift on the planet is felt by everybody.
Yeah.
And the power of others, promoters, are trying to ride that energy and hijack it just by changing the type of money. So they're really pushing a different type of money. That's it.
Right.
And they go, so the people subconscious go, oh, we've done it. We changed it. We're not paying with dollars anymore. We're paying with crypto. or whatever.
Yeah, they have
but that's
a
just
function
one of, those
of money
play.
Attached to control and power.
Yes, exactly. So
yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about here. When I talk about money here, we're talking about money here. It could be crypto, could be gold, could be silver, could be euros. It could be, any.
I know. I drove by a guy
ways.
with a sign says "looking for a wife," and he had giant stacks of firewood.
Yeah,
he was rich in firewood.
This area. Yeah, in this area, that's a wealthy person.
It's like that boy will keep you warm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, we will be using some form of
energy
currency as money.
That's good. Yeah.
So what do? Remove our limitations and negative programs around money.
Yes.
We aim to have at least a couple million high-frequency billionaires on the planet as we unite and work on our good works together.
Yep. I think that's a great plan.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I remember when we unite and we work on our good works together, one of those is owning and having land.
Yes.
Amplifying your frequency
on the planet, yes.
Yeah, and one of the things is groups. Groups that can function together and buy land together, can buy bigger land together.
Yes.
And they can work on their own, I guess we'd call it poverty programs as a group.
Yep.
It's like clear those buggers.
Yep. And support each other.
Support each other in that process. Yeah, make it come about. Look at time as related to currency too, time related to money. Clear these programs. All right, a pipe dream? I don't think that's a pipe dream. But I think it's okay. It's okay to look at it as a pipe dream. Daydream what it would look like. How would this feel? How would it feel to be a group of billionaires doing good works on the planet?
How did that feel?
How would that feel if you were part of a tribe of billionaires on the planet? You, a high-frequency person.
Yes.
Yeah. That would feel pretty good. Everything on Earth was someone's pipe dream in the past. Let's make this dream become real. We make it real in our imaginations first, then take actions toward it. Then we make it real on our beautiful planet. We can do this.
We can.
I created a money sigil using ancient secrets to attract wealth. I didn't do it. I supported it because I fed you while you were doing it.
Yes.
And I turned on the lights.
Yes.
And I took care of the puppies.
Yes.
And I did mow the grass. I stacked firewood. Sometimes I did the dishes.
Yeah.
Sometimes Brett did the dishes.
Yes.
I tried to keep the noise down to a dull roar. Yeah. Well, I didn't really, but I...
You did your best, honey.
I did my best. So, you created a money sigil using ancient secrets to attract wealth.
Yes. I could talk a little bit more about that.
Please do.
Yeah, so the money sigil we're using, and the one I created, I mean, actually drew it and created it into the solid world. And we're going to put a copy of it on the newsletter, and there's other ways you can actually download it as well through the newsletter at ineliabenz.com. And that one is a symbol of money and wealth that comes from ancient European runes. So very powerful and very active. I learned about it in, I think it was the 90s or probably the 80s. I can't remember exactly, but it was a long time. It was last century. And I learned about it from a guy called Scott
Cunningham,
yes, Scott Cunningham, who was he called himself a witch, and he was extremely capable at doing magic and doing all these things. He was an amazing person. Anyways, that's where I learned it from, and that's the one that we're using. So go and get it.
Yeah, you can print it out. You can do whatever you like. I was thinking about having a prints made of the original.
Yeah, you can.
And maybe you can do glacis or prints or some kind of poster or something.
That's a great idea. Yes.
If people are interested in having access to something like that, you know, make a. I'd like it. Some kind of a. Tell me. You know, you can tell me at.
Telegram.
Where? Telegram and
Yes.
Talk With Me Now. If you're on Walk With Me Now, you're in Talk With Me Now, and you can Telegram each other.
Yeah.
Where else?
Telegram. We have a public channel, Telegram.
Oh, an Inelia Benz public chat.
Yeah.
It's called Inelia Benz public chat.
Yeah,
that's
right.
also on Telegram.
Yeah.
If you don't have Telegram, just grab it. I mean, we've been having a nice time with it.
We have,
It
yes.
seems to be very good in engagement on a right now basis.
The Telegram, yeah.
Right. You could probably also send an email or a
Respond to the newsletter.
respond to the newsletter.
Ilia gets those,
Ilia gets
yeah.
those response. So if you're interested, you know, let me
go
know.
ahead and we'll go ahead
if
and
there's
create
enough
some.
that are, you know, reasonably interested, then I'll do the work. I'll do the legwork and get something going.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because that's a really
nice
amazing
one.
image you have
Yeah.
created.
Actually, I created it for a class that's going to go out, a workshop that's going to go out at Benz Academy.
Okay, really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's why I created it.
That's sweet.
And that workshop is going to be available as well every month or every other month, depending on the interest that people have. So if you're interested in creating your own power objects, including a money sigil or how to use sigils, then you can definitely get more information at ibenzacademy.com.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. I like that.
Anyways.
we're doing everything on our side.
We're
Everything we
doing
can
everything.
to bring it about.
Yes,
We're
definitely.
doing it. Do
Yes.
your side. Do your work too.
Yes.
Share this.
Yes.
Grab the sigil. Share it
Yes.
around.
Do
you
it.
know, even if you don't want income, or you don't need it, do it for the rest of the light beings on the world who do want it.
Yeah.
Download the money sigil, print it, use it in your website, share it, share it, share it.
Yes.
By the way, there's a link
Yes.
in the
On
newsletter. If you're not a part of the newsletter, go get on it.
Yes.
It's not that hard to find. I think you can find a copy of the newsletter at our Substack, right?
We have a lot of ways for you to
Gosh.
find this information.
Substack.
It's not complicated.
Go to Substack, type in Inelia Benz, and then there's
Yes.
the newsletter. It's printed there, and she'll even read it to you. You
Yes.
don't even have to go to the trouble of reading it. Okay. Larry and I, that would be,
I and Inelia.
you got to read that part.
Okay. Larry and I will be discussing some super interesting ways to use this money sigil and create and attract wealth in your life in the Driving to the Rise podcast, which we're doing right now.
Yeah,
so make sure to listen to it this week. Listen to the end. Of course, and let's not forget, a key ingredient for you to attract money and allow yourself to be wealthy is to use the reconnection with the spirit of money exercise and process your firewalls and fears that might come up to stop you from becoming a billionaire. It is time to remove our limitations and be powerful. Both the Money Sigil and the exercises are completely free on our website, ineliabenz.com.
Okay, then.
Yeah. We have it, baby.
I think you got it.
There was one point that I wanted to discuss in our podcast. So I have found that a lot of individuals think that the only way that they should become wealthy or attract money is through their work and through their hours of work or whatever, or their book or their painting or their business. Now, this is also a limitation program, okay? And when I say that, often people say, oh, so I can play the lotto and win it. That's one way to do it. Unfortunately, unless you do all your background work again, like processing your limitations and everything else, that's not going to work either. Okay, so these are things that come up in people's minds immediately for a reason, because they're limited, they're not actually open. And the first thing to do is actually looking at it from the other perspective. You open yourself to receive all this wealth from the human collective. And then you do actions in real life to get that wealth. And we use a lot of different actions. We do have products. We do have classes and courses, workshops. We have, even if we sell items, art and things.
We have GoFundMes.
We have GoFundMe is a website and we're not using it anymore. But we have, what's it called? Fundraising.
Fundraisings.
We fundraisers for our projects and you repair roofs and stuff like that in real life. So we don't have to put all our attention there because we know the human collective has our back, right? You have our back. So that's part of it, right? Yes. And that allows us to do all this other free stuff, like the podcast you're listening to today and all sorts of things. Yeah, we would be earning tons more money if we had like full-time careers, him as a fisherman and me as a communications expert. We would earn.
But I do want to say in this case, if we had done that, our ability to do would be hampered because our ability to do is what we're after.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not about getting that money through fishing, through careers, professional careers and things like that. That would be a limitation. But I have found that a lot of people think that, oh, well, if you put on a fundraiser of some sort, then you're poor. And, if this sigil was working, you wouldn't need it. So this is when the need thing comes in. We're opening doors to receiving the wealth, and we're opening wealth lines all across. And we do have a class around that. How to clean up your wealth lines and to create as many as you can in your life so that you give the human collective who loves you the opportunity to reach you.
The invitation,
yes.
The opportunity.
Yeah. So we're not limited in how, whenever it is that there might be a need or whatever happens, we're not limited. And we don't focus all of our attention on just creating wealth. That way we can balance it all out. And if we do have limitations right now, we're working on them. Right? We are actually using these tools. And we have had amazing results since we started using these tools several years ago. And you can see, we probably should write a journey book, right? Of where we started and where we are right now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's how we use it as well. When we get it, how do we use it? We could put it on in the bank, and if we had placed all of our income in the bank, we'd be millionaires right now. But we didn't. We invested in our people. We invested it in community and in our good works, in our projects and getting the message out. We invested it in the Shaman Shack and for the community to have a center, the core. We said yes to the Gaia and the Human Collective to join in a high frequency way. And what does that mean? We don't have much, what's it called?
Liquidity?
Liquidity, yeah.
Well,
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because the Human Collective has our back, you have our back. So that's why we can do this. So the wealth coming in can take many forms, can take many ways. And how you spend it is how you spend it. Mm-hmm. I remember years ago, somebody said, "Oh, how dare you charge for this material that you're creating? How dare you? This should be free," right? And it's like, you shouldn't be charging for these things and blah, 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 blah. That's those programs coming in, mm-hmm. right? Those are the programs saying, Inelia, you should be poor. And you should be giving everything for free, which is a program that person was carrying, right? And then another person who I remember was a spiritual teacher. She said, I don't charge for anything. I do everything for free. Everything is free. And I say, oh, how do you pay for your mortgage? Well, actually, I went into bankruptcy and I had to give up my home. Oh, how do you pay for your children and your food? Oh, well, my husband divorced me and took my children because I can't support them. And I'm like...
Think how much time I can do my spiritual work now.
And I'm like, wait, so...
I don't have to worry about my bills or my kids.
See, I don't need money to live. I said, where do you live? I mean, where do you sleep? And she said, I sleep on... my students take turns putting me up in a guest room or a sofa. Oh, so you're living off their money. So they buy your food and they pay your bills. So you're actually not really living for free, right? And she's like, oh,
well, there is that.
Right? There is that. And says, and how limited? I mean, if you wanted to do, let's say, a YouTube video or some other video and put it on the internet, or you wanted to create a podcast, how would you do that? Well, my students would have to figure that one out because I don't have a computer. So it's like that limitation.
That's the ability to do.
Yeah, that's the ability to do, right? She couldn't do anything and she disappeared from the public arena, completely disappeared. So that's part of the thing that we're talking about. And yes, there will be a time in the future when we won't have a need for currency. That is true, but that's not the time now. So now I want you to become clever and limited and able to have a lot of currency so you can do your good work, so you can do your projects, so you can follow your passions and your likes and your drives to do beautiful things on the planet. That's what I want.
I 100% agree.
Yay!
I think we should do that.
Okay, let's do that. Love you,
Sealed
darling.
with a kiss. Love you too.
Bye. You're gonna get our dog? I can hear her in the background. Oh, there she is. Oh, you know what? Her bed's gone.
Here's her bed right here.
Can you put that cushion down? She likes it up there. She likes to climb up here.
There you go, Beavers. Let me help you, Beavers. Come on,
This professional studio we set up.
Well,
we don't have enough dog beds in them.
There you go. No, she's perfect.
Yes. We need more dog beds in our studio.
Excuse me, pardon me.
We actually took her dog bed to give it to the puppies who are now in the other room.
3 of the 4.
3 of the 4 puppies. Guardian puppies.